Hey guys, Richard here with eBike Reviews and Adventures. Welcome to the channel, and today I want to do something a little different, and I want to talk about this Ecoflow Delta Pro Ultra and Smart Home Panel that just launched out there on the ecoflow.com website. This is a brand new product, and I've been sharing it with some of my viewers, talking a little bit about it as I received this a month ago and started getting it set up. But now that it's officially launched, I know there's a lot of people maybe not e-bike enthusiasts that are going to find this channel, is going to find this video and will want to learn about it. So I'm going to share with you just a little bit more about it, and also just be aware, down in the description below, I'm going to have a discount code for $1,000 off. Now the discount code is only good for about a month, so make sure you go down there, check it out, save the discount code, and use that, and save if you decide to purchase this unit right here. And I will tell you, I just got pricing on this same time as everyone else did when they launched it this morning. And I was surprised because I honestly thought this setup right here was going to be about $8,000, maybe a little more. And it was significantly less than that. So very impressed with what this unit does for its price. Let's get into the video and I'll show you what it's all about. All right, so Ecoflow did send me this so I could do a little testing for them, and also to make a couple of promotional videos talking to people about it. And so that's what I'm doing here. So just be aware of that. They did send this to me. What we have here is the basic setup, okay? You have what's called the inverter, which is this top half. These two are two separate pieces right here. The top half is the inverter. That's the brains. That's the technology. That's where all the outlets are. I'll show you those in a minute. That's where all that is contained. And then you have batteries that you can stack underneath it, and this is one battery right here, and it's a 6,000 watt capacity battery. And what's great about this system right here is it's expandable. You can buy up to 5 batteries to stick underneath each inverter. Okay, so I mean that's just a huge amount of power for your home right there. So that's just one of the things I really like about it. The other is that it's portable, so it's unlike a Tesla Powerwall or some of these other power units that you have to actually mount to the wall of your garage or something, and then it's permanent. This guy, it comes with a little dolly, okay, and you can easily move this thing around just like that, even though it's close to, close to 200 pounds, just under 200 pounds for that setup right there. So that is the basic Delta Pro Ultra right there, inverter, battery. But you can also optionally get a sub panel. They call it the Smart Home Panel 2. It's the second version smart panel they came out with, and this allows you to connect the Delta Pro unit and however many batteries you want to the Smart Home Panel, which is connected to your main panel, which is connected to your house and powers everything in your house. So and just a quick overview, what this allows you to do when the electricity goes down, the grid goes down, and there's no power coming into your home anymore, this unit right here automatically kicks in and transfers power to the sub panel. And what it does is it powers all the circuits that you have pre-selected. These are all the circuits that I selected that came over from this panel over here. And we're talking the mini split garage air conditioner here in the garage, outlets here in the garage, some outlets in the kitchen, the refrigerator, the microwave, the hot water heater, some outlets in our living room, bedroom. Those are the kind of outlets we selected, or circuits that we selected that we want to have powered up all the time in the event of a power outage. So it's great for being able to do that seamlessly. I don't have to come out here, flip a switch. It doesn't run on gasoline. It doesn't it's not noisy or anything. It's a very quiet machine. It just sits here and does what it's supposed to do. So that's just a broad overview of this system. But let's take a closer look now at the Delta Pro unit itself, and then I'll show you a little bit more about the home panel. So here in the Delta Pro unit, that's just for a dongle for a USB if you need to do some kind of firmware update. For some reason you don't have internet access, you can do that there. But this does have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so it's already built in. It's got a really nice phone app that allows you to control all these features. It's got a lot of nice stuff there. I'll show you that in a moment. But the front here, I'm gonna hit that right there. You can show right here, we're showing that we're Wi-Fi connected. We don't have any energy coming in from solar or from the power grid right now. The battery is at 95%, and based on the battery being 95%, 6,000 watts, it's saying that it's good for 14 days, 10 hours, and 30 minutes. Well, that's because it's not being used. As soon as you plug something in and you start using the power, then this little indicator here changes, and it'll tell you how long, based on how much energy is being used, how long this battery is going to last. So it's a really neat little feature there. Over here, it shows you how much is actually going out, how much is leaving the battery. And it's got a little indicator here saying, hey, it's plugged in. And that's what that means. That means it is currently plugged into our home panel. It's just that it's not feeding anything into our home right now because, well, that's how I have it set. And I'll show you that in a minute. Up here, we also have some USB ports. That's USB-C. We have USB-A over here on this side. And right here we have the power button. Here we have an on and off button for the AC outlets and these DC outlets. And it's important that you have separate on and off buttons because you don't want power running to these outlets all the time because it'll slowly drain your battery. So you only, when you're going to plug something in, then you go ahead and turn those outlets on right there. Over here we do have a 120 volt 30 amp, okay? And then over here we have a 120 240 volt, also 30 amp. Now something else to know is that you have UPS and EPS built in right here. So you have emergency power supply, and you have, what's the other one called? UPS up, I forget the name. So, but you do have that, so it automatically switches over. And it can be seamless. Yeah, and I'll share with you what we do here in our home in just a moment. Over here on this side, we got this neat little thing right here. Let's see, this is where we have an Anderson port. We have the wall outlet plug, so I can plug it directly into the wall outlet if I needed to charge it. But I don't need to, because it's also getting energy because I have this plugged in to the smart home panel. But if you don't have the smart home panel, okay, and you only buy this unit here, that's where you plug it in to charge it. Actually, I'm sorry, right there. And let's see here. This is where you plug in solar panels. Okay, so if you have portable type solar panels, low voltage solar panels, that's where you plug those in at. But over here on the side, if you have rigid panels, which are the ones that you put on the mount permanently on the roof of your house, those are higher voltage, you plug those in right here. Okay, that's where that goes. And you have an on-off switch, so you can easily turn that on and off if you need to work on your solar panels, maybe you need to get up there and clean them or something. You can turn it off right here and shut those panels down so it's not feeding energy into the unit. Of course, the solar panel itself might still be charged. But right here is our connection that goes to our solar panel. Our home panel. Right here is our connection that allows us to connect the battery that's underneath it. Right here is a connection for the next battery. If I were to get a second battery and put underneath it, that's where I connect it right there. There's nothing to see on the back side. There's nothing to see on the left side. Just know that you do have these nice big handles right here to grab it, to be able to move it around, pick it up if you need to. Now let's take a quick look at the home panel itself. Now right here in the front, we have an indicator that says, hey, we have grid power. So this panel is charged from the grid, coming in from this other panel, so we know there's electricity in here. And this button right here says that this outlet is turned on. I could push this button, turn this outlet off completely, and then nothing will happen. There's no energy that can come from this battery. Right here we have two more ports. This allows us to connect two more inverters, okay, and their accompanying battery packs. So in all, you could have 3 of these inverters and 15 batteries, 5 under each one, for a whopping 90 kilowatt hours of energy. That's a huge, huge amount of energy that you can have connected to the smart home panel. Right here is a pause and resume button that we can push in order to stop the flow of energy going into the panel. Inside the panel here, closer look at the circuits. We have a 100 amp circuit right here that has its own lockout. It's all automated, so let's say the grid goes down over here and energy is now starting to flow into the panel, so it goes into your house, it automatically locks it out so it cannot go back into this panel, and it cannot go back out and electrocute an electrician that's working on the power lines out there somewhere. So that's very important, but that's already built in, and it's all automatic there. You can have up to 12 circuits, okay, that you bring over from your other panel. And like I say, I've got my garage mini split, and I got the outlets in the garage, dining room, living room, some kitchen outlets, the hot water heater, the microwave, the refrigerator outlet in the kitchen. All those are the ones that I brought over, and I'm only using 10, okay? I still have 2 more I can use right there. Just haven't decided yet if I'm going to use those and what that might be. So that's just a quick look at the panel, and I tell you what, this is how we use it. So being that I live in Florida and we're subject to pretty rough weather like we're starting to have today, it's starting to get pretty rough outside, and there's a really nasty squall line coming toward us. It's got to be here in a few hours, and they're saying we could lose electricity. Well, guess what? If we do, I'm ready. Okay, so let's take a moment and take a look at the Ecoflow app. And I have other Ecoflow products, so you'll see them here. Okay, but in the app you'll have an icon specifically for the sub panel, and you also have one for each of your inverters right down here. Let's take a look at the sub panel first. I'm going to click on that. So what you're showing right here is that we've got energy that is coming in from the power grid, and it's passing through this panel right now. Yep. Nice little indicator there because we have a storm brewing. We'll get back to that in a minute. So we have energy coming into the panel, and it's going out to our home, and that's all that it's showing us right here. It's just passing through. It's not doing anything. The inverter is not feeding our home. It's all coming from the grid. Right down here we can see that we have our 3 inverters, our 3 positions, right here, 1, 2, and 3. I only have one connected, and it showed me that it's at 95%, so my battery is 95. And in here you can do a couple of things. I can tell it to charge now, and it can go ahead and bump that back up to 100%. Tells me time remaining, how much energy is still stored in the system. So nice little overview there. Down here you got some other options that we haven't dove into too much because this is still a new product, and some of this is going to populate with time. It's like some of our historical data, our savings, cost savings, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just not a lot we can see right there. Up here you can toggle over to this button right here, and here's where you see each of your circuits. You can kind of see what's going on with it. Like right now in my living room, 183 watts are being used. Here in the garage, 153. My air conditioner is pulling 21 watts even though it's turned off. So that's one of those things that's just always consuming a little bit of energy, so be aware of that. My hot water heater, it's not being used, so it's not kicked in right now, so it's showing 0. If you click on one of these, we'll use the living room as an example, then you get more information in here. You see a graph here that shows you your energy usage, saying total consumption. You can change it by day, by week, by month, or by year, just to see what's being used in that space on that circuit. You can turn it on and off. A couple of things there that you can do with it. You can rename it, change the icon, that sort of thing. So some neat information right there. Let's go over and let's click up here at the top, and we get into some settings, and this is where things start to get interesting. Let's go ahead and click on outage strategy. The outage strategy is where you can go in and decide how you want the energy to flow to your panel during an outage. In other words, what has priority. So if I hit setup, it goes in here, and right here this first category is must supply. I can select all my circuits that I definitely want the Delta Pro unit to be supplying. And my definite circuits would be things like, the refrigerator, the microwave, maybe the living room where the Wi-Fi and modem and all that stuff is connected. Those are my priorities, and so that's going to be listed here. But I can take some of these, any of these, and slide it over to conditional supply. My hot water heater and air conditioner are over here, so they are less of a priority. Now what this means, if there's an overload on the system, okay, there's too much energy, that's an overload, it's got to shut something down, it's going to keep these must supplies, and it'll shut down the conditional supply. Also, it's trash day. All right, also, if the battery starts getting low, okay, and the energy's being consumed and it's getting kind of low, it will continue to supply your must supply category, and it'll start shutting off things over here. So if I'm low on energy and we're still experiencing a power outage, you know, I don't want my air conditioner, I don't want my hot water heater, because those are big energy hogs. So those will get shut off automatically, and it'll just power the ones that are most important to me. Now at any moment in time, I can go into the app here and I can tell these different circuits to shut down. So early on in the power outage, if I know it's going to be a long-term event, like after a hurricane, I can probably live without my hot water heater. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off early, long before my battery starts to get low. Okay, so those are the kind of things you can do with this outage strategy. Storm Guard. This is another really neat feature right here. Storm Guard is if you're expecting some really bad weather like we are this afternoon, okay, you can go ahead and activate Storm Guard. And I'm going to do that for you right now. So we're going to activate it. And what that does is it says, okay, the battery's low. We're going to start charging the battery. We're going to get it up to 100%. And then we're going to pause, and we're not going to let this energy be used for any other purpose until, you know, if the lights go out. There's a feature that allows you to set a schedule so that the energy stored here goes into your home, for instance, in the middle of the day when the energy rates are really high. So in the day when the rates are the highest, my battery kicks in and it starts supplementing energy into my home, so I'm taking less energy from the grid where it's more expensive. Then in the evening, when the rates drop from the utility company and they're cheaper, then the schedule is this thing will kick in and automatically start to charge back up again. With the Storm Guard activated, it's not going to allow that to happen. For 24 hours, it's going to just hold that battery charge and it's going to keep it there. So it's not going to start feeding your home arbitrarily, because you don't want to drain your battery down to 50% or even 25% or something, whatever it is that you have set. And then the storm hits and the lights go out. And then you get caught with, oh no, I only have 25% battery because I've been using the energy all afternoon trying to save money. That's what Storm Guard does for you. So now that it's activated, it's even on the front panel here telling me, hey, Storm Guard is activated. It's going to automatically charge it up to 100%. And this afternoon, my normal schedule is around 6 p.m. This thing starts to dump all of its energy into our home to save energy, because rates are still really high here from 6 to 10 p.m. Okay, so for those 4 hours, I'm using all this energy up in this battery right here. Then at 10 o'clock, my normal schedule is it automatically starts charging the battery, so it's ready for the next day. But now that Storm Guard is activated, it won't do that. It's just going to hold on to it until the lights go out. When the lights go out, it automatically switches over. Let's talk about that too. So every evening at 6 p.m. when it starts feeding the energy into the panel into my home and it switches over, there's no interruption in the home. Okay, I noticed a couple times, I've noticed just a little bit of a dimming of the lights, where they dimmed just a little bit for like a half a second. It's more like just a flicker, and that's all it was. And I looked at the clock and it was 6 p.m. so I knew this had kicked in, and we're now using energy from the battery. At the end of the evening at 10 o'clock, when this thing was almost depleted and it was time to switch back over to regular grid power again, it switched over seamlessly. And again, just a very slight flicker, you could barely notice it. And it's not enough to even interrupt your Wi-Fi or your internet modem. You know how if the lights flicker just a little bit, it takes out your internet modem and you gotta wait several minutes for it to process and recycle and reset and all that? Don't have any problems with that. It cycled through. I mean, it didn't interrupt the internet at all, because I was on it at the time and I was looking at the Wi-Fi modem to see if it was going to reset. It never reset. So almost instant transfer of power. So I really like that. Hey, let's look here at the app. So let's go back to the main page here. Let's go down. I'll be glad when that trash truck is gone. Yeah. It's the second time he drove by. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the Delta Pro Ultra in the app. Okay, with that notification. So we're already back up to 97%, the couple minutes we've been talking. So it's topping it off, and that's what it's showing you right here. It's showing you that there is energy coming in, and it's coming in through the panel. Okay, and it's charging it that way. If I was plugging it into the wall outlet over here, it would be coming from this icon over here, showing me that there was energy coming in from the wall to recharge this. That's kind of cool. Right here we got the status of our AC outlets and our DC outlets. We can turn those on and off. We've got, let's see here, in the settings here, we can do things like set the time zone. We can change the automated task, which is the schedule I just explained to you a minute ago. I can go in here and set up my schedules. And you can have multiple schedules. So if you want this thing to charge up and decharge, several times a day or something, you can do that. Right here, you can tell it that you never want it to fall below 10% because you never want to deplete your battery completely. But when you charge it, I've got mine set to charge to 100%. I want it charged up fully every day. You can set a backup reserve so it never drops below, say, 25% under normal usage. And that's what I have mine set up for. So under normal usage, and I'm feeding power into my home, it's never going to drop below 25%. When it reaches that 25%, it's going to automatically switch over back to the grid, and then this will start charging or recharging on its normal schedule, which is 10 p.m. when the electricity rates are lower. Yeah, so here's another thing. Here's a switch for always on, where you can have this unit to where it's always stays on, and it doesn't have to worry about it timing out and shutting off or something like that. That's something you can set. There's a 4G option. If you want to set it up to 4G connection, you can do that. Firmware is in here. Your log is in here. Temperature unit. Some other little neat features in here as well. So there's quite a few things you can do with the app that makes managing your system just a lot easier. Not just easier, but just better. You get better use out of your investment through some of the features that are in the app. So far, we've been very, very happy with this. It's working well. I can't wait to see some of the historical data to start seeing what kind of savings we'll get by using energy during the daytime when the rates are higher, and purchasing energy to recharge it when it's lower. I'm excited about that. I'm not necessarily excited to get tropical storms or even this winter storm that's going to blow through here in a few hours. But if we lose electricity, I'm happy knowing we have this available so that things are going to continue to operate inside our home, and we'll be mostly comfortable, and it'll be business as usual for us. I am thinking about, I'm thinking about buying more batteries. You can get another battery right now, I think, for $2,700, which is a lot. But it is 6,000 watts of energy, and that's a lot of energy. That powers a lot of stuff for a while. So I am thinking about purchasing at least one more battery. I don't foresee myself ever getting the full complement of 5 batteries. I just don't see that happening. But yeah, they've got other neat things too. They got different cables. For instance, they got a cable to connect to your electric vehicle if you have one. Yeah, different little things like that. They've got this accessory dolly over here, which is capable of hauling this setup right here. One inverter, one battery. That's all this is capable of hauling, but it's got bigger wheels on it. Nice big telescoping handle, so you can load this thing up if you need to take it somewhere and relocate it, which is one of the great features. Remember, I mentioned to you, it is portable. It's heavy, but it's portable. It's not permanently connected to your home. So yeah, a lot of neat things about it. Hey, there's going to be that link down below, which is an affiliate link, but also the $1,000 discount code. That $1,000 discount code is good for a month after the launch. They launched this on January 9th. So up until about February 9th, you can save $1,000 on this setup here, or any other combination. If you got 2 inverters, or you buy more batteries or whatever, you can save $1,000. That really helps out. Real quick here, let's talk about the installation of this real quick. I'll share that with you. I did hire an electrician to come and install this for me, and for me in my area, I got a couple different quotes. One was $1,250, and the guy said it's going to take him all day to do it. I got another quote from a guy that said it's only $850, and it's going to take me about 4 hours. It did. It took me actually about 3.5 hours. But unfortunately, he did something wrong, and he couldn't figure out what he did, and some of the circuits didn't work. And he tried blaming the panel, saying it was the problem with the panel. So after I contacted Ecoflow and we talked it through a few days, I was confident that there was nothing wrong with the panel. I hired a different electrician to come and take a look. And he came and opened up the panel here, took this off, looked at the wiring inside. It took him about 3 minutes, and he said, yeah, this is wired wrong. So it took him about 45 minutes, and he had it wired up correctly, and it was good to go. But, you know, most electricians, licensed electrician, they should have been able to install this no problem, because what you tell them is that you have a sub panel, and it's got a built-in transfer switch for like a generator, and that's really all you have to tell them, and they will know from there. Oh, okay, I know what this. I know what you have, and yeah, I can install it, and then they're going to quote you a price. Don't tell them, hey, I have an Ecoflow Home Smart Panel 2. Can you install it? Because they're never going to know what that is. They're going to say, I don't know what you're talking about. So just explain it to them that way. Sub panel with a built-in transfer switch, and you should be able to get a good, accurate quote. And like I said, it cost me $850 plus another $100 for the second electrician. Plus, you know, that didn't include the breakers. I had to buy the breakers. And my breakers came out to be in, that was an expensive guy up there, that 100 amp. I think that was like $125. Some of these were like 10 and 12. These bigger ones, two bigger ones here, were like 30 or 40 or something. I don't know. It was just under $200 for all the breakers. So just be aware of those costs as well. Hey, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, drop them down below. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Follow the link to get more details. If you decide to make a purchase, please consider using my discount code, because I do earn a little on that. And Ecoflow rewards me with stuff like this from time to time, and that is so appreciated. And hey, for all of you who found me because of the video on this product right here, this channel is all about e-bikes. And if you're interested in e-bikes, stick around, because I've got content for everybody. I do e-bike reviews, okay? I do accessory reviews. All my reviews are honest. I always tell you what I like or what I don't like about a bike. My reviews are not paid for. You know, the companies don't pay me cash or anything like that. I do riding videos where I go out on a solo ride, testing bikes, riding bikes, talking to you about various topics. I do group rides with friends, which are a lot of fun. We record all those video footage as well. So we do a lot of fun things here on this channel about e-bikes. So if you have any interest at all in e-bikes, make sure you subscribe and stick around. I hope to see you in another video real soon. Be safe.